What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check it out. Today in Disney Gaslighting, once again, we have them making up stories, making up lies, trying to paint Kathleen Kennedy as some sort of a neutral observer, somebody that's just really there for the business. We're just here trying to make money and make the best Star Wars content that we can possibly make. We're not here to try to push any sort of an agenda. We're not woke. We're not doing any of that crap, right? Some lying insider decided to come out there and spew this. I have no idea why, because nobody's buying it, all right? After that South Park takedown, I think these cats have just been in their feelings, super in their feelings. They don't know how to react to this situation. And so now we just got to come out with some gaslighter to come out and just try to spin everything. Remember I told you, just like with that cat, John Roca, who came out there defending Kathleen Kennedy and Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy and all of these people, all right? The shills are out in force once again. Now they got a quote-unquote insider doing the dirty work for them. This is on Screen Rant. Forget South Park. Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy is no woke warrior, insists an industry insider. Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy is often criticized as some kind of woke warrior, but Hollywood industry insider Matt Belloni insists she isn't. All right, so let's check this out. But before we do, I'm going to play that one clip just so you can see exactly what it is that Kathleen Kennedy has already stated out of her own mouth about what her agenda is over there at Lucasfilm.
Well, one of the things, I mean, the fact that the company was bought by the Walt Disney Company has been amazing because they very much support the fact that we are trying to grow in the workforce, a number of women in executive positions and in all positions inside the company, and with the movies that we're making and with the protagonists that we're putting in the stories. So I get a huge amount of support with that. But we have 50% of our executive team are women. Mm-hmm. And 6 out of 8 of the people in my story group are women. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be surprised that we're making Star Wars movies and the majority of the people involved in the development of those stories are women. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's making a huge difference in the stories that we're trying to tell.
Now, what did you hear there? I heard agenda. That's what I heard. I heard intentional, an intentional move to do something in everything from the people making Star Wars all the way down to the protagonists. Is there any wonder why 4 out of the 5 lead stars, protagonists in the 5 Star Wars films that Kathleen Kennedy has made have been women? Is there any question as to why that is? You saw it right there. You heard what she said. It's not organic. It's not natural. It's not coming from a place of let's make the most entertaining thing possible. It's coming from a place of, yo, we got to get women in front of this thing. And see, and they're going to try to go out there and try to gaslight you again. Like this summary says, Hollywood insider Matt Belloni insists Kathleen Kennedy's woke, in quotations, reputation is a nonsense. Looking at Lucasfilm under Kennedy, he seems to have a point. It appears that wokeness is in the eye of the beholder. Well, let's talk about what we're talking about then. When we say something is woke, woke is basically following an agenda. All of the stuff that you just heard Kathleen Kennedy say is about agenda. It's not about entertainment. It's not about let's make the most entertaining thing possible. It's about what? Diversity, equity, inclusion. We got to get more women in front of the camera. We got to get more women protagonists. We got to make the story group all women. That's what her situation is. And she's putting people on that rock with her agenda. All right. And which makes sense, obviously. If you are a business person, you're going to hire people that fit with the values that you hold. OK, it's obvious that everything that's coming out of this studio or out of Lucasfilm is primarily focused on an agenda that Kathleen Kennedy is promoting. You can see that with all of the television shows, too. Like things that should be about guys suddenly get switched over to women, like The Mandalorian. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. There's a phrase that I was thinking of. You will know them by their fruits. I believe it's biblical. You will know them by their fruits. You look at the fruits of Star Wars, you can see what this company is about. Kathleen Kennedy didn't have to say a word. All right. Kathleen didn't have to say one cotton picking word. You can see everything that she had to say right there through her works. You will know her by her fruits. She's putting out there nothing but agenda, and none of this shit is entertaining. All right. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this article. A Hollywood industry insider, Matt Belloni, has insisted Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy, often a subject of criticism in Star Wars fandom, is no woke warrior. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy has come in for heavy criticism in some corners of the Star Wars fandom, considered responsible for supposedly woke Disney projects. Even South Park mocked Kathleen Kennedy in a special called Joining the Panderverse. Yeah, everybody, again, everything that comes under Star Wars, everything that comes under Lucasfilm is under the stewardship of Kathleen Kennedy. I don't care if you don't want to blame a single writer out there and everything. Everything comes under her stewardship. She's the head honcho. The buck stops with her. You can say it goes all the way up to Bob Iger if you want to, but she's Lucasfilm president, and she sure as hell ain't pushing back against none of this shit. You know, that's what this guy is going to try to claim. They're like, oh, well, you know, she's actually a very, you know, business savvy woman or whatever. And now Hollywood industry insider Matt Belloni has directly addressed these claims, which he insists aren't accurate. As he explains in his The Town podcast, but Kathleen Kennedy is not. That whole South Park thing was funny, but it wasn't accurate. Within Disney, she's not known as the woke warrior. Well, I mean, within Disney, I wouldn't expect her to be known as the woke warrior because the whole company is woke. I mean, good God almighty, man. Nobody thinks that anybody in Disney is not woke or is not seeing things in alignment with everybody else that's in Disney. You know? You think there's some based people over there at Disney? Man, Kathleen, the woke warrior. No, of course not. They just as woke as she is. Why would anybody within Disney say this crap? Matt Belloni is out of his mind. She kind of has to be convinced. From everything I've been told, she kind of has to be convinced to do this stuff. Okay, really? All right. Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy has to be convinced to throw all of this feminism into Star Wars. I'm pretty sure she had to be convinced. No, we gotta go with Rey, Kathleen. We have to go with Rey, the female protagonist. All right, we have to do it. I know you don't want to, all right? You know, twist your arm behind your back, but we gotta put these female protagonists front and center. You know, in all your movies, with the exception of one, which is the Han Solo movie. All the others had a female protagonist. I'm sure they really had to twist Kathleen Kennedy's arm to convince her to do that. You know? He calls it this stuff. Even Matt Belloni knows what's going on here. This stuff. What stuff, Matt Belloni? Oh, all the woke shit y'all complaining about. Yeah, it's woke. All right? In Disney, she's not known as the woke warrior. Again, nobody has to convince Kathleen Kennedy of any of this shit. It must be noted that Belloni is no fan of Kennedy, but in his view, this whole argument is nonsense. As he notes, there has never been a female director of a Star Wars movie, including in the Disney era. What does that got to do with anything? That don't have nothing to do with nothing. I don't think she's gone overboard on the diversity stuff, Belloni insists. What does this have to do with anything? The fact that there's never been a female director of a Star Wars movie. Are you saying that if you don't have a female director, male directors are incapable of pushing the agenda? That Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams are incapable of pushing Kathleen Kennedy's agenda? We saw them push the agenda. Shit, freaking Dave Filoni, right? Dave Filoni is, I'm gonna find the interview. Dave Filoni is a feminist, and he pushed Kathleen Kennedy's message in another conference for women or whatever. I'm gonna put that up here in just a second.
This is what we tried to do with the Star Wars saga now. We've tried to create more female characters who can represent so many things, because what we're trying to do isn't just create one type of character. We're trying to create a diverse range of characters, especially female characters that are strong, that are independent. When you look at Rey, on The Force Awakens, she's a female lead in a whole new chapter of the Star Wars saga. We haven't done a movie for 10 years, and here comes a Star Wars film, and here comes Rey. And what is it? Is it Panic in the Streets? Oh my gosh, a female lead in a Star Wars movie. And then the trailer for Rogue One comes out, and it's another female lead. Oh my gosh. How unfair. We've had probably like 2 million straight film cinematic roles where men have been leads, and now we've done 2 in a row that are women. Well, too bad. Oh well. Maybe there are more coming. You know, Rey, she impresses Han Solo. He's like the guy's guy, impresses him, impresses everybody in the audience. She goes up with Kylo Ren, she punks him right away. Like he's supposed to be this great guy, wiped out all these people. I don't know. She took that lightsaber and was like, I'm gonna take you out. And she did, and I'm all for it.
That, to me, right there, like the chief creative officer guy, all right, pushes the agenda. Like I said, everybody that Kathleen Kennedy brings in is an agenda pushing fool. They line up right with her whole belief system. Again, that's what you do when you hire people in. Hey, let me check what values you rock with. Oh, you way too based for me, bro. Oh, you trying to make Star Wars about entertainment? No, you gotta go. Dave Filoni, let me see. Oh, yeah, you rock with the feminist agenda? Yeah, come on in. I'm gonna give you all kind of projects and everything. You good to me. But with everybody else, no, you can't be up out of here. That's why Kathleen Kennedy was shooing away all of these guys that was walking up trying to be involved with Star Wars. She's shooing them out the door. She don't want them dudes rocking with her because they don't line up with her value system just like Dave Filoni does. Filoni lines up with that shit, you know? And it's funny, again, Matt Belloni, I don't think she's gone overboard on the diversity stuff. He knows exactly what's going on here. He knows exactly what this is. Oh, she's not a woke warrior. What are you talking about, the diversity stuff? What's the diversity stuff? She's absolutely gone overboard with it. There's a reason South Park lampooned her, all right? Put a chick in it, make her lame and gay. There's a reason that was a joke that everybody immediately understood. They immediately understood. They're like, yep, that's Kathleen, all right, okay? That's exactly what Kathleen Kennedy, she was really an avatar for everything wrong with Disney, but she was the perfect avatar because she hasn't gotten anything right when it comes to Star Wars since she's taken over the entire company, since she took over Lucasfilm. You know, you can't say that about Kevin Feige over there at Marvel, but you can sure as hell say that about Kathleen Kennedy, all right? Because this is what she's all about, going overboard on the diversity stuff. That's exactly what she's all about. Has Star Wars become woke? Oh, it's beyond woke at this point, all right? It's beyond woke. In truth, it's difficult to evaluate whether Star Wars is truly woke under Kennedy. No, it's not. All we got to do is just look at the content. Doesn't help that the term is infamously difficult to pin down and often seems to be a way of complaining against surface-level changes that some viewers object to, most notably a focus on female protagonists, people of color, and LGBTQI plus representation. See, this is why these people, they fail to understand the real arguments, okay? The argument is you are putting agenda ahead of entertainment. Yeah, this is all surface level shit. Like they're saying, they're admitting that, putting a female protagonist is a surface level thing. You know, people of color and LGBTQ representation is surface level, all right? They're admitting that this shit doesn't go deep enough, all right? All of this stuff it's just, icing, okay, on the cake. But the cake is the problem because you're putting the icing before the cake. I want you guys to imagine just for a moment that you said you're supposed to make a cake and you're putting all the best ingredients that you can find into the icing to make the cake look amazing, all right? And then when it comes down to the actual cake, you're just throwing there whatever ingredients I can happen to find around here. I just need to put this cake together, but it just needs to look good. Okay, that's it. It just needs to look like a good cake. And then everybody's like, oh my God, this cake looks amazing. And then they cut into it and it's like, why is there dirt and rocks? Like, what the hell did you do to this cake? This cake is disgusting. What happened? Oh, well, we was just interested in this surface level crap. This is the wokeness. This is why I say wokeness is nothing but sanctimonious virtue signaling. It has no real depth because they didn't give a damn about the entertainment value. They did not care that this thing was not entertaining. All they cared about, like this guy is admitting to, is the surface level changes. And yeah, people are complaining about the surface level changes because there's no depth to the story. There's no entertaining value to the story. It's just a bunch of surface level bullshit. The Acolyte will put the woke warrior claim to the test. I mean, if that's the case, she's already passed the woke warrior test, all right? Full marks, okay? She has absolutely passed this thing 100%. A++, all right? No question about it. What will Leslie Headland's Disney Plus TV show be like? Well, we already know what it's going to be like, all right? Look, Leslie Headland has already said what it's going to be like. Star Wars The Acolyte will reflect the showrunner's own queer identity. That's what it's going to be like, all right? The Acolyte showrunner, Leslie Headland, plans to have her real-world experience as a lesbian shine through in the show's creation. We don't have to wonder, folks, all right? We know exactly what this show is going to be like. the next Star Wars Disney Plus TV show, The Acolyte, will be an interesting test case. The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland is intensely controversial, but the quotes that have generated an online furor have often been ripped out of context, making it seem as though she's largely under attack simply because she is a queer woman running a Star Wars TV show. In one case, portion of the Star Wars fan base reacted against Headland, claiming the show was LGBTQI friendly when she simultaneously said that she was inspired by the relationship between siblings Anna and Elsa in Frozen. Well, again, there's no question about that. You know, but even again, if she didn't have that, we have this, all right? We have her saying that this is going to reflect her queer identity, that she saw herself as a villain growing up, and she wanted to insert all of that into her Star Wars content, that she wanted to push that into this is back in 21 when this thing first got kicked off, all right? 3 years later, we are seeing the culmination of this. I bring this headline up every single time in case people are curious, well, what are you talking about? This is what Leslie Headland said. In the same way that the original Star Wars film, A New Hope, is about a young man living in Modesto, California, who doesn't want to take over his dad's hardware store, Headland said to The Advocate, referring to George Lucas's own personal inspiration behind the creation of Star Wars. There's just no way that me being a queer woman is not going to be reflected in my work. Boom. He went on to explain how storytelling is often an extension of the storyteller, reflecting key aspects of that person's life and identity in the narrative itself. So we have no question at all about what The Acolyte is going to be, all right? We don't have to try to derive some stuff, even from Anna and Elsa in Frozen, and she clearly said that, but we don't even have to pull any extra information from that. We got it straight up from her mouth that, yeah, there's no way that my experiences as a queer woman will not be in this show, all right? So, yeah, again, people just get up here and get up in arms about, you know, what we, the fans, are saying. But the fans have it right, all right? The fans have it right, and these clowns have it wrong, all right? Kathleen Kennedy is absolutely a woke warrior, all right? She is an agenda-pushing fool, and all y'all gaslighting don't change that, all right? All the bots, all the gaslighting shills, is that none of that is going to change the fact of who Kathleen Kennedy is. We know her by her fruits. Anyway, folks, you guys let me know what y'all think about this situation. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.